lovelies, welcome back to the channel. My name is Stephanie with Chubby Girl in the World. If you're new, welcome. This video is going to be a little bit different than my usual content. Normally I come on and talk about fashion and just, there's jeans behind me. My husband broke his zipper and I was fixing it, but so usually I come on here and talk about plus size fashion, the plus size community, and we have a good time and fun. But today's video isn't like that. Today's video is very serious and something that I've been thinking about all week long. I'm filming this on Tuesday, and if you don't know, which if you avoid the news like I tend to do most of the time, you might not know, but the largest massacre of Latinos in this country occurred on Saturday, and then a few hours later, people were also murdered by terrorists in Dayton, Ohio. These, I don't even think you can call them men. These are not men. These are ridiculous, disgusting humans who decided that their racist beliefs were excuses to take other people's lives. I don't know too much about the situation in Dayton, and so I'm trying to educate myself a little bit more about that. The news media that I have consumed is more about El Paso and the person who had this, crazy online screed about how Hispanics were invading Texas and that the Hispanic invasion and how Hispanic people were, going to replace Caucasian people. None of this is true. So I don't expect any of you to be historical scholars, but I do expect that people at least understand the culture and history of their own country. This man was an American, as I am an American. I am a Latina American, and I was born in California. My mother was born in California, and my grandmother was born in California. As a matter of fact, my grandmother's family goes back 14 generations in Texas, meaning that our family was entrenched in this land before it was ever even the United States. So you can't get more American unless you're a Native American. So if you don't know, Mexican people are Mexican literally means mixed. It means mestizo is what we used to be called, and that was people who were Native American and Spanish, and the Mexican people are literally the offspring of Spanish imperialist forces and Native Americans. So of course, when two people live in the same place, they're going to intermarry, they're going to raise a family, but also that lineage is also a violent one. So of course there were people who were Spanish conquistadors and they married natives, and that it was consensual, but there were also just people who were the product of rape as well. So it is a complicated cocktail of history. However, Mexican people are not an invasion to this country. They are our brothers and sisters and our cultural cousins, and they, more than anything, are human beings. And the thing that bothers me the most about this waste of human life, who decided to kill 22 people, including children, he didn't distinguish between people who were citizens and people who were just there shopping. In El Paso, it's a border town, so a lot of times people will come over the border just to go shopping and then they go back. This is not an invasion into this country. They were just on a shopping trip. And it shouldn't matter. Those distinctions shouldn't matter. The reason I point it out is to point out the ludicrousness and the insanity behind this kind of thinking. And I know that you probably will never think this, but you might know someone who does. And at this point, I don't have time to try to win the hearts and minds of racist people. I don't have time and I don't have the patience, and frankly, I am out of all fucks to give about white rage. I don't care. I don't care how sad or mentally ill. I don't care how bad this person had it. He took what was not his. He took lives that could have been anything and everything. He took away people from their families. He endangered and hurt children because of the color of their skin. So why am I telling you this if I don't think you agree with this person? I'm telling you this because you might know someone who does. And I need your help. I need your help that if someone you know, or someone in your life or in your periphery starts saying things about Mexicans being an invasion or an infestation, or, something about subhuman, treating people as if they're subhuman because of the color of their skin, I need you, who are good and lovely and righteous, to stand up and say no. And if you hear that person planning something the way this guy did, this guy wrote online that he was going to go kill a bunch of people. And the response that he got was, get a good score. Now, there were people, and there were good people also in that space who tried to alert the authorities, but they didn't know where he was. They didn't know what he was about to do. They didn't know. So I know that you can't magic away hatred and pain, but if you see something or hear something, or you have someone in your life who's thinking about hurting people because of the color of their skin, please tell someone. Please call the FBI. Please call the police, so that we don't have to have another Dayton or another El Paso or another Gilroy, so that no one else's mother or father or daughter or son doesn't come home that night just because of the color of their skin. And I have so much guilt around this issue because most people don't know that I'm Hispanic and that my mom is Mexican and both my parents are Hispanic, because I'm what they call white passing. And I know that this is true because I've had people say racist and derogatory things to me, thinking that I was one of them. And I am not. Even though my lightness protects me from some things, it's not bulletproof. And I tell you this now, it does not matter. It does not matter if somebody is here illegally or legally. They're still a human being. They're still someone who deserves our empathy. They deserve our humanity. These are people. These are people. And the only reason that I'm an American And the only reason you're an American, if you were born here, is because by the grace of God, you were born into a country where it's relatively safe and you've been given rights by birth. Your citizenship is an accident of birth, just like mine is. And please remember that when we're talking about people who are running away, they're running away from dangerous things, they're running away and trying to protect their family. Wouldn't you do anything to protect your family if someone was trying to hurt them? Wouldn't you do anything? Wouldn't you travel any number of miles? But here's the problem. Those people in El Paso didn't do anything. They didn't do anything except go shopping that day. They weren't hurting anyone. They didn't do anything to anyone. They just went shopping. And they died because of the color of their skin. I know that people of color, the Black community, the Sikh community, the Muslim community, all feel what I'm feeling now. But I need my friends who are maybe a little bit lighter than me. I need you to feel this too. I need you to know that people are terrified. I can wash off my makeup. I can wash off my makeup and lipstick and all of that stuff. But I can't wash away my culture, and I wouldn't want to. These are people who could be my aunts and uncles and cousins. These are people, my family, I have family in Gilroy. I have family who doesn't live too far from there. And thank God they weren't there. But people of color can't just turn their color off and on. We are in danger. And we need your help. So if you hear something or see something, please say something. Please be on the right side of history. And please know that we're just as American as everyone else. And even people who aren't Americans yet but want to be, aren't those the kind of people we want in this country? People who would do anything to be Americans. Who would do anything to be free. To be free of the tyranny of violence and oppression. Those are the people we want in this country. I'm not here to argue or debate immigration with you. What I'm here to do is humanize those people who have been dehumanized. Our current government doesn't care about who we are. Our current government doesn't realize or value our humanity. But people of color have always been the backbone of this country. People of color have always been in this country. This country was never an all-white country. It was built on the backs of slaves and immigrants. And being white didn't always mean what it means today. There was a time where Irish people weren't white, where Jewish people weren't white. And we need those people to stand with us now, just as we will always stand with you. Thank you so much for listening, and God bless America and everywhere else.